hello everybody. What's up, everybody? It's good to be here. It's good to be back. It's good to see everybody, man. I am so excited to be here. We're live on YouTube and we are live on TikTok as well. I appreciate everybody who is joining. It has been a moment, it's been a while. Swahili Nation, we've been on the move, man. We've been on the move. We have been having a lot of time talking, back in the days, and right now it has been a moment for implementation to act what we have been talking about. Just to give you guys a little bit of recap what has been going on. Well, I'm on a mission, I'm on a trip, I'm on a mission implementation of what we believe on. I just came from South Africa, and there in South Africa, we had a mission in two different regions. This one small village called Marikana, and another village called Swatidam. These two places, it's kind of like they're not registered place. So most of people who are living in these places, they are South African. Some of them, there's Zimbabwean, there's Malawian, people from all over Africa. So they're trying to find a better life. They move to this region. These regions, they're not registered, so there's not really provision of clean water or electricity, or like there's not really these normal things that you could find in areas, and that's because they're non-registered area. So what brought us there is to actually provide clean water to this village, because some of the villages we saw, they have more than 30,000 children, like little kids, but they don't have access to clean water. So we installed a water tank in this place, and we thank God that we can contribute a little bit. So us as SNOA as well, we were there collaborating with one of our partners from South Korea. We were there in South Africa to install those water tank. And I'm really excited. If you guys have been following our videos on YouTube, I think you've seen the vlogs we've been sharing, and I've been showing you guys what has been going on. I still have other videos that I'm going to be sharing with you guys, but I'm just excited that we get to do this work. All right, we did not have a plan to go to South Africa this soon. There were a country that I had in my mind to go to visit them first. For example, I have like Congo. I'm thinking about Congo. I'm thinking about the western part of Africa, like, all this country, Burkina Faso, Mali. I'm thinking about I'm thinking about Uganda, what I'm saying, because of everything that is going on. I just saw the news right now. Actually, I saw a nation releasing that Uganda and some other African countries been removed from Goa by USA. Y'all know why that is happening, right? So these are countries that I would love to visit, and this time. So South Africa was not part of the plan, but I got a contact from a few people that I worked with 4 years ago when I was living in South Korea, that they wanted to partner with us and to do this amazing work in South Africa. So so I flew all the way to South Africa. We installed water tank. As I'm saying right now, like there's a provision of clean water right there, and we still do that. So glory to God. And then I appreciate that we get to do work on our continent. So shout out. I also had a moment and a chance to meet up with His Excellence Ezra. This is the guy that we've been working together in Swahili Nation, One Africa, for more than 2 years, but we never met before. So all of a sudden, I went to South Africa, and I was in Pretoria. He was in Pretoria. We got some time to connect, to meet. We met twice. We had an amazing conversation. The videos are on YouTube, and there's more conversation I'll share with you guys. So it was just incredible to meet someone that you've been working with for 2 years and you never met. It was just amazing, right? It's amazing. I love it, man, because at the end of the day, man, our goal is to have one Africa right now, one Africa in our generation. And talking about one Africa is not just about politics, it's not just about talking, but it's about implementation. It's about doing the work. It's about making things done, right? And so, by your support and you guys who are always been here, we are able to do that. All right. And right now, as I'm saying, I'm not in Africa. I'm here right now for another mission in South Korea. But after here, there's another African country that I go. I just received invitation a couple days ago. So the plan was just to go back to Tanzania. But while I was here, I received invitation. So I'm going to flew all the way to Tanzania. And right away, I'll take another flight to another country. I'm excited there as well. I'm there for just one thing. But, yeah, but it's gonna be really good. It's gonna be really good. I'm really excited for this next country. I'm really excited. Yeah, they've never been there before. Just in case, because some of you might think Ethiopia because we went there a lot of time, but it's not Ethiopia. Somewhere else, I've received invitation and I'll be there, and I'm really excited for that. Very, very, very excited, man, because I see One Africa in our generation happening right now, and I see it happening right now. So let me just pray a little quick, and then I will do what brought me here today. All right, God, I thank you for today. It has been a moment us being here together as a family, talk about Africa, connecting, and I am super excited because I miss this family. I just miss these people. I just miss my brothers and sisters. I just miss talking and sharing and just reading comments. I just miss doing this, God. And I thank you that I have this opportunity and this blessing to just be here to connect with my people. So I pray that at the beginning until the end of this session, whoever that needs peace, whoever that needs hope, whoever that needs help in any way, God, I pray that that provision will be here today in your precious name of Jesus Christ. I pray. Amen. All right. So, guys, here's the thing. Here's the deal. You guys have seen the title of this stream. I say now or never. So a couple days ago, I believe like 2 days ago, we released a video of the president of Kenya, William Ruto. He was actually talking in Congo Brazzaville about the visa issue, the visa thing. We all know that ever since William Ruto became a president of Kenya, we know that there's a huge group, a number of people that are pro him and other people that are against him. The same thing in Africa as well, because of the different recent moves that has been making. Even here we came and we spoke about things that we do not agree with this guy. We do not agree with what he has done or what he's doing. We came here and we addressed that because one thing that we promised ourselves is to be brutally honest with ourselves, always to keep 100%. All right? Always to keep 100%. That's what we promise ourselves to do all the time, and we have been doing that. And we'll never stop doing that. So if there's something that is happening that we do not agree, we'll say we do not agree. If there's something that will happen, we think it's a good move, we think it's something amazing, we think it's something smart, even if the person who is doing it, we kind of like, don't understand one another, also we are going to address. Because I know even you guys who are watching me here, some of you are agreeing with me in some areas, some of you don't agree with me. Some of you like me, some of you don't like me. So this is how it is. It's how it is. Any leader or anything that brings about change, it cannot be supported by everybody. You know what I'm saying? Everybody. So we're here to address that. We know that one of the important moves that William Ruto has been trying to do for Kenya, it is removing visa restrictions for African countries. So when he just got to the regime, we know that they remove a visa restriction between South Africa and Kenya. They remove visa restriction between DRC, Congo, and Kenya. They remove visa restriction between Djibouti and Kenya, Eritrea and Kenya. Now they're removing restriction between Congo, Brazzaville, and Kenya. And the plan of William Ruto or Kenya at the end of this year, starting from January 2024, no country in Africa will need a visa to go to Kenya. And this is what he says, according to his words and his speech. He said that. So colonizers, when they came to us, they gave us all this system of, visa, of borders, of tariff, of all this stuff. But them right now, as we say, they don't have those restrictions. Today, if you get European Union visa, you'll be able to travel all other European countries except UK, because they remove themselves from that organization, right? You can travel anywhere for free without paying, anywhere without need of visa. But today, Africa, we're still hanging on, we're still holding on to the old system that it was here purposefully to divide us and to conquer us. So working together right now for Africa is no longer a choice, but is necessary and must for Africa to do it, because the restrictions that we have in our continent, the restriction that we have between one country and another, they're not working for us, but they're working against us. So basically, everything that we see happening in Africa is not nobody else to blame. We are to blame because we can simply remove visa restriction within our countries, open the borders, and start interacting with one another right now, right here. And it is possible because we see William Ruto implementing that. And at the end of this year, guys, the entire continent of Africa, you guys will be able to go to Kenya without needing a visa. Do you know how bold that move is? And do you know how risky that move is? Because a lot of time when you talk about no visa policy, a lot of people say it's very risky. If you don't put visa, it's very risky. We just talk about it's very risky, but we've never tried before. Why do we have to assume worse when it comes to Africa? Why do we have to assume about crime when it comes to Africa? When you go outside of Africa, that's how people see it. Right now, I'm not in Africa. I'm out of the continent. But you know what I hear most of the time? That they're danger people. Oh, it's scary. That's what I hear when I travel out of Africa. Sadly, we also see each other the same way. When you look at the black color, we just think about crime. We think about robbery. We just think about drugs. We just think about that. We have these stereotypes towards one another, us as Africans, as blacks. And when you talk about no visa, when you talk about opening borders, that's what people are going to start saying. So what if a lot of people, they come to your country, it's their continent. Why should they not come to your country? I'm telling you, if this decision, Africa is not going to make it, is going to leave to Kenya, you'll see where Kenya is going to be in just a couple years from now. You'll see. Because the number of diaspora who are going to go to Kenya, the number of African citizens who are going to go to Kenya, because the borders now are opening up, you have no idea how much they're going to invest. Even right now, man, Kenya, when you talk about East Africa, Kenya is basically leading when it comes to business and economy. Kenya, right now, as I'm saying. And I'm saying that with all, Kenya and Tanzania, we've always had this rival. We always have this competition and talking about all these, man. I was not born from Kenya, but Kenya is my home, man, because I'm an African. And I'm proud of what Kenya is doing. Come on, when someone is doing a good move, when someone is making a good move, a move that we have been asking and asking and asking for so long time, man, you got to applaud that. So with all being said, this, guys, 2 months ago, let me say this again, 2 months ago, to be precise, to be very precise, 2 months ago, August 16, 2023, we came as SNOA, we came with a petition that said, One Africa right now. We wrote a petition, we tagged people, we shared everyone, and it's there right now, as I'm saying, alive and well, there in the internet, One Africa right now. And one of our very main agenda, it was to remove the visa restriction when it comes to Africa. To remove visa restriction that we have towards African country with other people, to remove that, because Africans can never be illegal migrants in their own continent. Africans, this is their home. This is your home. So our main agenda, this is what we say exactly. We don't want visa. We don't want visa to African country. Open the borders, collapse all the borders, and make it freely for Africans to move around the continent. We want Africa right now, and not 2063, and not 40 years from now. We want it right now. That was our main agenda. Another agenda is to have African passport. That's our another agenda. So let's go one after another one. Removing of visa, it is possible. Kenya is doing it. African Union, it's a time to implement that to the entire continent of Africa. Let's not talk about it is scary. Let's not talk about, oh, we don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. How are you going to know what's going to happen if you don't do it? This doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I don't care who you are. I said that, oh, you don't know. It happened in that country. It happened there. But this is Africa. We don't know what's going to happen. That's why you should do it. And this is the reason why a lot of our kids, actually, they're growing in this kind of environment that there's so many rules. Don't do this, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. Let the kid do it. Let the kid touch the fire. Let them do it, because they will learn out of that. If you remain with the scar for the rest of your life, you will know that I should never touch fire again. But there's so many don't do, and we never get to know what is on the other side. Don't jump. If you don't jump, you're never gonna know what is the feeling of flying like a butterfly. You know what I'm saying? You'll never know it. So I am here, first of all, to remind you guys about the petition that we have, One Africa right now. We need your signatures. This petition is all over the internet. If you go to our YouTube channel, Swahili Nation, every single video you watch, our video, if you go to the description, the very first link is the petition that you should sign, you should read, you should sign, and you should share. One Africa right now. We wrote that 2 months ago, and right now we are talking about Ruto removing the visa restriction from all African countries. He said, no, starting from 2024, at the end of this year, all African countries will come to Kenya without needing visa. What about the rest of Africa? If these leaders cannot come together as one Africa and decide the new presidents in your own countries, we as a people from our individuals' country, we need to demand free visa for our people. Right now, as I'm saying, when a lot of things are happening, crisis is happening in Ethiopia, it's happening in Sudan, it's happening in all over the continent of Africa. Our people, some of our people needs a safe place to be, but they can't go because they don't have documents. They can't go because they don't have visa. They can't go because if there's a war in your country, how are you going to apply for visa? When do you get time to do that? You need to take care of your kids. You need to take care of your family. You need to try to find a safe place, a better place, at least to survive. And you cannot go to another. You cannot go. Imagine, man, if you go to those borders, there's this one video that Wodemaya showed. He was actually in Kenya, and there's this one border of a little stone that and they wrote that do not cross this border. There's not even border. There's only a single stone there. So he was jumping to Tanzania and jumping to Kenya, jumping to Tanzania. So imagine you're there in Kenya and you're at the middle of the border and the war break out and you just need to find a safe place in Tanzania, but you cannot cross it because it's illegal. Man, you don't want me to go spiritual? It's illegal. Nobody owns this land, man. This land belongs to God. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a time for us to leave this system, because okay, we shared the video. I had this. I was invited to speak to this one of the kind of like Pan-African summit. Like last week, it was done in Amsterdam, and we have been sharing our videos here on YouTube. So if you haven't seen it, please go and see it. And actually, I'm gonna have a conversation with Max, that guy, the Netherlands guy. I'm gonna have a conversation with him because I really like the point he raised and I really like what he said. So I'm thinking about having conversation with him as well with the lady, African lady, who a lot of you guys loved her from the videos we shared. I'm thinking about having conversation with him, in the coming weeks. To talk a little bit about this. We're talking about neocolonialism, and this is what I said. I said that, man, I don't believe that there's a neocolonialism right now, but I believe that there's colonialism. I believe that colonialism never ended, because colonialism, when we talk about colonialism, what we think about, having a white man in your country taking care of everything, or having, whatever, Arabs in your country take care of everything. That's what we think about. But we forget about the system, that these men, they simply came here to build up the system. When we kicked them out and we got independence, the system was still there. System is still there until right now. So colonialism never really ended in Africa. Yes, white men left. In some of the countries they didn't live, like South Africa was there last week. Was there last week. Oh, now I can talk a lot about that because I was there physically. I saw, I felt it, and I made videos about it. I was there. So in some of the countries are still there. But colonizers, when they left their system there. The system that they implemented over 500 years is still there in Africa, alive and well, working today. So are you going to tell me that we are free? Are you going to tell me that we're not colonized? If the names of our places like Lake Victoria, Victoria Falls, originally was called Mosio Otunya, the smoke that thunders, but it's still Victoria Falls today, Victoria Lake. Call our cities. Let me say this, man. South Africa, I know you understand this, and I'll say this. One thing that it just hurt me about South Africa when I was there is that when you go to the cities, Pretoria, Johannesburg, Cape Town, it's really nice, it's really good. But you don't feel like you don't feel Africa's identity there. You don't feel it. And not because it's too developed. That's not what I mean. But what I mean is the names of the street, the names of the roads, the names of the buildings, everything thing. You will never see African name. I did not see. I don't know. Maybe other places they have, but where I went, I did not see. I see Brooklyn Street. I see New York. I see this. That's what I see. I only see like some English name everywhere. All the streets, all the roads, man. The state, the real estates, man. The roads, the address, everything. You never, you don't see Zulu language there. You just see some really like some English stuff. And then you ask yourself, you're like, am I in the US or Europe or something? It feels like you're not in Africa at all. That feeling is not there. This is the system I'm talking about, that you might not have colonizers, but the system that they implemented, the system that is there in Africa, man, is well deep rooted down in the ground, that you go to some places, you cannot even feel that you're in Africa. That's why a lot of foreigners, they love South Africa. Do you know why? Because when they go there, they see their countries. Why do you think even some of the Africans who are in the diaspora right now, their dreams is to live in South Africa? I'm sorry, some of you, I know you might be watching and we talk, but I'm going to talk about this. Some of them, I talk to them and they tell me this. Some of them, I don't know your reasons. But some of the reasons that I hear is that it's convenient. I mean, I've been to Johannesburg, I've been to Pretoria, I've been to Cape Town. It feels like, it feels like I'm in the United States. It feels like I'm in Europe. Like it feels like, and it's true. When you go there, you feel like that because the names of the cities, the names of the roads, the names of the address, names of the building, it has nothing to do with Africa. Nothing. I went to the waterfall and I share a video with you guys. You know what is the name of that waterfall? Lisbon Fall. Beautiful waterfall you could ever imagine. The name of the fall is Lisbon Fall. Lisbon Fall. When you go there, you don't feel like you're in Africa, first of all. It is beautiful, but the identity has been changed. And when you go there, first of all, when you just write here, Lisbon Fall, you feel like it's Portugal. It's the capital city of Portugal, Lisbon. But we have that duplication in South Africa. So this is just one country, but I've mentioned about, Lake Victoria, Victoria Falls, all the falls, all the beautiful places were named after them, after their cities, after their kings, after their queens. We have nothing that we can tell our kids that this is Mosi or Tunya Fall. And so Lisbon Fall, I said, this should be called Siabonga Fall. You understand what I'm saying? Why don't we name our roads with our own names? I believe it is possible. We can change that because the things that we need to own it. In order for us to own it, we need to change the identity of it. It used to be ours, and it was changed with their own system. And now when you say it, Lisbon Fall, you talk about the capital city of Portugal. You talk about it in South Africa. That's why today when you write Africa, you know what's come? Go and write Africa on Google. You see some kids without shoes, some kids, they don't have food, some kids, they don't have clothes. Like somebody like me, it looks like, you see this hair? I never combed it for so long time. You see somebody like that, it looks like, that's what you will see there. But you go and write Lisbon. Hey, my goodness. First of all, you're going to see Lisbon, capital city of Portugal. You're going to see that Lisbon Fall, but it's in Africa. The same, man. So imagine if we had Mosi or Tunya Fall. Everybody, when people come and say, we're going to see Mosi or Tunya Fall, the smoke, the thunder. That's the local African name. You write there, Africa. You like that on Google, and then you see Mosi or Tunya. You don't see like Victoria Fall. What the hell is Victoria Fall? Those are people who colonized Africa. Today I saw King Charles, he's in Kenya. I think he apologized or something, but then there's nothing can change for what they've done. But we, Africa, we must own our land. That's why I'm saying, man, the system is still the same. Colonialism never ended in Africa, and we don't own anything. I'm telling you, man, you don't own it. If you have a kid and you never name that kid, somebody else named that kid. That kid is not your kid. It's not your kid. When you have something, you put a name on it. You put a name on it. That is to say that this is my own thing. Even God, when he made Jacob, he was like, you know what? The meaning of Jacob is a liar. And I want to change your name. You no longer be called Jacob. I'll call you Israel. When he met Abraham, he said, you're no longer going to be Abraham, I'll call you Ibrahim. When he met Sarai, he said, you're no longer going to be called Sarai, I'll call you Sarah. When he met Peter, he said, you'll no longer be called, he was called Simon, I guess. And he said, you're going to be called Kepha, which means the rock. Do you understand? Like when you own something, you name it. That's what the colonizers did when they came here. They took everything that was ours and then they named it by their own name. That this will be called Victoria Fall, honoring the Queen Victoria. This Lisbon Fall, honoring the capital city of Portugal. But until today, you go to Africa, that's what you see everywhere. That's why the leaders like Sankara, when they came, they started to shuffle things up. They changed the names, changed the names, changed the names. And what they did, they killed them. System is still the same. That's why I'm saying, yes, I know Kwame Nkrumah, shout out to the legend, Kwame Nkrumah, one of the very important figure in our history. One is the very important figure who started this movement. After Ghana gained its independence for the first time, he said the independence of Ghana means nothing if the rest of Africa is not gonna be free. So he said, yes, we're free, but now it's our duty to fight for the freedom of the entire continent of Africa. These are very special people who thought about one people, thought about one Africa, thought about no visa, thought about borderless Africa, thought about tribeless Africa, thought about that for the continent of Africa. 60 plus years ago until today, the vision's still alive and well. He is the one that came with the concept of neocolonialism. And I do understand with everything that he said. Everything. And I know that's what we say, that's what we address. What I'm saying is colonialism never really ended. It just changed the phase. And that's what we call neocolonialism right now, phase 2. But everything is the same. You don't have a white man, but you have the system of the white man that is running your country. So visa, it's not our system. Tariff, these borders, can't cross here, can't cross that. They used to have it, but they remove it. With Africa, it feels, let me tell you this, guys. Right now I'm in South Korea. But so when I tell stories to these guys, right? When I tell them what Africa is struggling with, because my duty is to show the image of Africa, authentic, to keep that the image of Africa. A lot of people, they see the image of Africa negatively and they don't see the positive image of Africa. So my job is for them who only sees the negative to show them the positive image of Africa by being an example, by showing them that, oh, you know what? Africans are people of excellence. Look at me. This is my excellence. This is what I keep. This is what I do. I do everything I've been given, every task I've been given. I do it to the best of my ability. I make sure that the excellence is there. Because these people, when they see me, they don't see me as Mika. They see me as an African. If I do it less than what they expect, the burden on me is not just on me. Mika, Tanzania, no, the entire continent burden is on my shoulder. So I gotta keep my excellence. I gotta make sure that everything I do diligently. I keep time. I arrive before time. I serve time, and I do everything with the most of my ability. I do. And I hope every African who is living outside carry that in their hearts, because we represent Africa wherever we go. You might not see that, you might not even think about it, but that's the reality. So when I share them the struggles of Africa, you know what they say? This is what they say. They say, oh man, yeah, 50 years ago, we used to be like that. Yeah, 50 years ago, we used to be like that. The struggle that is happening right now in Africa, it used to be here 50 years ago. What does that tell you? And then this is what they say. They say that one day, I know you guys we used to be there, but right now we're here. I know one day you guys, you will, maybe 50 years later. You know, what does that tell me? It tells me that Africa, we're backward 50 years ago. This is 2023. But the same countries that used to be like Korea and some countries in Africa, the same economically, 50 years ago, and right now everything changed. We are in the same year 2023, but sadly we are still living, our mentality is still in 50 years ago. That's why I thank God that every single year He give me this trip to remind myself. I lived here for 9 years. Last year I came for 2 weeks. This time also I came for 2 weeks. I'm glad that I get this chance to come to feel that again, to experience that again, to see and to learn. I'm just here to learn, to remind myself that okay, this is how things are supposed to be run. This is how things are supposed to be. This is how it's supposed to act. This is how it's supposed to do. Man, I am pissed off inside. Because, man, I'm living 50 years ago. And I'm like, why do we have to be that slow? Why Africans, we always think that we have time? Why Africans, we always delay things? Why we always think that we have 50 years later? Why we always think like slow? We have this culture in my country called pole pole ndio mwendo. Pole pole ndio mwendo, you say like slowly. That is the journey. That is how you're supposed to walk. When you come here, it's pali pali. Pali pali is like fast. Yes, it has negative or positive, but the positive side is look at where they are right now, 50 years later. We're still in 50 years ago because we always think we have time. We don't have time, man. We got no time. We got no time to think about 2063. We got no time about that. It's now or never. William Ruto understands that. William Ruto acknowledges that. William Ruto speak about that we must remove visa restriction right now in Africa. Why? Because it's not working for us, it's working against us. Let's get rid of that. That is our petition, One Africa, right now. So I want to invite everybody here. If I have the team here watching with me, please share that One Africa right now petition right now in the comment section. And people on TikTok who are watching, One Africa right now petition is on my bio. If you click that link, it will lead you right away to One Africa right now. If you cannot find there, you can find it on any social media. If it is Instagram, you'll find on the bio link. Anywhere, YouTube, you'll find everywhere. One Africa right now, because we got no time. We can change this. I'm telling you guys, Africa's development can change in just a couple years right now. If in our mind we think we get this mentality of now or never. Don't wait to do something tomorrow. What can be done right now? What are you doing right now? This mentality of thinking that we have time is what's screwing Africa, is what delaying Africa. Delaying Africa. I don't know, man, why we don't have this urgency in our heart? Why we don't have this urgency when we walk? Why we don't have this urgency when we talk about things? Why we don't have this urgency when we implement things? Politicians, I don't call them leaders in Africa. Politicians, you know what they do? They wait until they have like 1 year before another election. I'm like, what the heck, man? What the heck? Why are you becoming leader? So if they have 5 years, when they become leader, you know, in the first 100 days, they'll start to do something good. A second year, no, quiet. The third year, quiet. Fourth year, quiet. The fifth year, when it starts begin, you see other implementation. Why? Because they are preparing for the next election. I always say this, and this is what Maris Monroe said, that the leaders think about the next generations. Politicians think about the next election. And that's what we have in Africa. They think about the next election. We don't have leaders. See, every time before election, that's when you see things are moving forward. But why they're moving forward? This is psychological warfare. They want you to see what they're doing so that they'll ask you for the votes. But what have you been done in the first year, second year, third year? What did you do? We don't ask them, what the plans do you have for my children and for the children after that? But you know what they think? They think just about being chosen and being there. Africa, we must change this mindset. We must have this urgency in our heart. It's sad, man, when you come here, man, I'm looking at this country, man. Okay, I lived here 9 years. But man, every time I come here, you know, today I was thinking, I was in the taxi. I was having dinner with a friend and coming back to the hotel. And I'm in the taxi and then seeing all these beautiful roads, right? You know, our roads back home, even when it's beautiful, like it's bumpy. Why? Because people are keeping their money away. They have money to fix the road, but you know what I'm saying? They're using a little budget, some money they keep for themselves, and then they use it awful materials. Those roads, they don't even last 5 years. They need to repair again. So the money of the country is just repairing. You build a road, it doesn't even last for 10 years, you just repair again. repair again. So the only work we do in Africa is repairing. So I was sitting there and then thinking about the infrastructure here in South Korea, thinking about the railway, think about the airways, thinking about the roads. Man, I've been to countryside everywhere, man. The roads are good, amazing. And I'm like, so the money that comes to this country, what do they do for? Like, what is the work for the money that comes, the taxes and everything? What are they working for? That's why this country developed. Because when they build roads, they don't think about 5 years. They think about 50 years. They build roads with quality that will last for so long, so that for the next 30 years, they're not going to take the same money to fix road. The money they invest in something else. You look at the country like, so what are this money using for? Like, for the country like this, it has high GDP, it has a lot of money. What are they using for? They don't fix road, they don't fix railways. Most of things here, I'm telling you, the reason why this country is developed, because there's these giant companies that are taking all the things. When you look at the buildings, when you look at apartments, this is Hyundai. You know Hyundai car? Hyundai car, it owns most of apartments here in Seoul, in the capital city. Most of the apartments are owned by Hyundai car. This one company build almost all the, if you go to Samsung, the same thing. They build almost everything. Here, the same thing. So what is government doing? Then you realize that government is balancing everything, is taking all this tax and putting maybe in education. Education is one thing that this country invested 1,000%. In Africa, if we do not invest on the local education, Africa's education, we're not going to see another day. We're not going to see it. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking about my country. I'm thinking about my continent. I'm like, man, you will hear that, they're receiving loan to fix road, receiving loan to have electric, what it is, railways, receiving loan to buy airplanes, receiving loan. Everything is loan every single day for 50 years, every single day, dealing with infrastructure. Yes, our countries are too big than South Korea. I understand that. But man, 50 years, still you don't get it. Even after 50 years, you need another 50 years to fix the same road that you built. Some road here were built just 2 years ago in our countries. But right now, it's like they were built 50 years ago. No quality in our work, no excellence in our work, no urgency in our work. That's why you have a vision like African Union 2063. 2063, there's no urgency to that. There's no urgency to that. 2063, even if I am chairman of African Union, I don't bother myself. I'll just sit, I'll just get my salary, enjoy with my family, go to D&D, having a private vacation in the business class and first class all the time, and then I'm waiting for the next 40 years. Another chairman will deal with that. No urgency in what we are doing. And we think we have time. We don't have time in Africa. No time. I wish this mindset can go. And this is what we're trying to this is what I'm trying to do with my organization, man. People who are working together, my organization, they know one thing that I'm very sensitive and I can get mad, extremely mad, is time. Time is life. You're late for a meeting, you're late for work, man, we're going to fight you. I'm going to fight you because you don't understand what we're trying to fight, what we're trying to fight against. You don't understand. It's a mindset, the thinking that we have time. This mindset, thinking that we don't need to do this quickly. No. Right now, we don't have time. No visa in Africa right now. That's why we have this petition, guys. One Africa right now. Please share that link in the comments. I want my people to go ahead and to sign this petition, One Africa right now. Yes, I see here Reggie, our brother Reggie has been sharing here. Please go and sign that petition right now. One Africa right now. Understand that? So William Ruto has announced this about this non-visa that is concerned 2024 for all African countries. All African countries. So if you're coming from any African country, you don't need visa to come. One desire that we say in this petition is that I hope African Union, we can start this with One Africa passport for all of the diaspora, our brothers and sisters who are outside of this continent, our brothers and sisters who recognize themselves as Africans and want to be part of this continent. to be given African Union passport, because I understand there are people who do not really want that. There are people who just want to misuse that. I understand that. And how can you find out about that? It's difficult to find out about that. It's difficult. It's really difficult, but it's important our people to have that, because for those Africans in the diaspora who will be given this African passport, they don't need visa to go to Africa. They don't need visa to go to Africa. These are the guys that we need to come to invest in the continent. You guys have cash. We have ideas. We're in the continent. We're living. We know what's supposed to be done. Right now, I said this last time, when I was in South Africa, that my focus right now is, when I go back home, is to go to countryside, to go there to see where there's no clean and safe water, to implement those initiatives, to provide clean water to our people, provide all this water tank to these villages. If this is the little village, it has like 1,000 people living, they don't have clean water and safe, we're going to build their water tank and we're going to provide this clean water to them. The entire village to use it for free. You don't need to pay for it, for free. We are going to dig down one water tank. My experience in South Africa was $9,000. So we can do that, in Tanzania, we can do that in Kenya, we can do that in our countries. Dig down all the way down deep, like 120 meters is okay, 150 meters is okay. Not you cannot reach 2,000 meters. 200 meters, 150 to get clean and safe water that you don't even need to boil that water. It's clean. If you go that deep, you find clean water, and those water, it will be pumped all the way to the tank, and people in the village, they'll be able to use this water for free. Come and get your water. We don't need any attachment. We're coming there. We put our water tank there. It's free, open. It's free to everybody, and we're going to be following up. If we find out some politicians are coming there and charge people money, we're going to be with you head to head. That is in my heart right now, because it's ridiculous. Water is the most important thing for human body, but people, they don't have water. Even those places that there's a drought, we can go and install this water tank. We just need to dig down. God has given us free water everywhere. We just need to go to dig down deep 120, 150 meters to find that rock and clean water for our people. I can do it. That is my focus right now. That is, I wish, because man, I was hard, man. I was hard there. I was hard that we waste this water. We buy water and all those stuff, but people, they don't even have this. They've never seen clean water like this. Never. So we're gonna do that. And a country that I'll go, I'll do that research. No, okay, where there's no water, and what is the plan? These things, man, government's supposed to be doing this, but we're gonna do it. We're going to do it as one Africa. We're going to do it because first and foremost, the well-being of our people is the most important thing than anything else. I believe before unity, before anything, the well-being of our people. If we don't care about the well-being of our people, it doesn't matter business, it doesn't matter whatever we're doing in vain. So even if you do business, the well-being of those who are doing business with is the most important thing. That's what I believe. And when I was in university, I had this, presentation about business, and I told my professors and the entire class of more than 120 people that the reason why I hate business is because I kind of feel like it does not really care about the well-being of the people. It cares about the profit and profit and profit. So if you're sick, you're out. We'll find somebody else to replace you because we need to continue to make profit. Yes, that mindset, it got a lot of people at the top. But a lot of people down there are bleeding inside out because their well-being they're not taking care of. And we're not going to do that. We must care about the well-being of the people, right? So that that's what is in my heart, man. And you're gonna do that, you guys. So I'm saying, like, we need a African Union passport to our brothers and sisters in diaspora so that they can come to Africa without visa. And when they come here, you guys, you come, you invest, you guys, you come, you do your work. All this project that we say, I say this last time that I don't even need you guys to send your money to me. No, you come, we'll find the places, we'll find location, we'll allocate you. If you want to provide clean water for our people, you say, you know what, if it is $5,000 I have here, I want to do it, we will allocate you to go there to do that for yourself. We'll give you everything that you need. Support. If it is man, we'll be there to support. If it is, we'll be there to make sure that that project is happening, but you'll be there. You'll do it for yourself. We're not collecting money or doing anything like that. No, you will come and you will do it with us. We're gonna find location, we're gonna find information as much as we can, and that's our job, to find information, to find location, to find what is needed, to find everything, all important information that is needed. And if you want to support and if you want to do it, we'll give you those information to come for free for you to come and to do it, because we simply want to do a good work for our people in the village, for other people in the countryside. And imagine, man, having this water tank is not just going to provide clean water, but also is going to provide access to farm, because there's water there that can use for farming, and it's free of charge. This water, God-given water, it's free of charge. It's going to be free of charge. Kuchondo Haji in Korea, we say we have to do to that extent. Here, the water, they don't really sell water. Okay, if you want to buy water, you can buy, selling very cheap. But wherever you go in the restaurant, is free water. If you go in the hotel, free. If you go, it's free. Free. If you go to the subway station, the water is there, free. You can drink for free. For free, man. But today, this one you need to pay back home, because it's a business and it's a good business. Water is supposed to be free. We have oceans, we have rivers, we have all this stuff, man. Why are we leaving 50 years ago? Because we think we have time and we don't have time. We got no time, guys. Anyways, guys, so let me just applaud His Excellence William Ruto for that initiative of No Visa 2024. So Kenya, it's gonna be flooded by a lot of Africans there going for vacation, and you'll see the economy of Kenya, how it's gonna grow, because people, they will go there. You go there without visa for 90 days, it's free of visa. You know how many things you can do. They'll go to do tourism. The restaurant there, they'll be full of people. Business will grow because a lot of people will be going there. Do you know why Dubai is doing so well? Because they make it very easy access to their visas. Just need to apply online and then you get right away. If you make things easier like that, I'm telling you. For example, one of the countries that I feel really sad about is my own country, Tanzania. Tanzania is one of the best destinations in Africa for tourism. But for some of the countries in Africa, it's almost impossible to get visa for Tanzania. You would rather apply visa to United States, but not Tanzanian visa. How difficult it's going to be. But do you know how much money that country will make through tourism? Go to Zanzibar, Kilimanjaro, Serengeti, Ngorongoro, Iringa. So many different tourist attractions there, but people, they don't come because it's almost impossible. Almost impossible. Very difficult. What the heck, man? Look at Kenya, what is happening. Learn from that. Remove visa restriction in my country too. Remove it. Why do we have these visas? It's nonsense. It's just nonsense. It's just nonsense. Very Igijogen mindset. Igijogen means individualistic mindset. What kind of man? We are Ubuntu. We are Ubuntu generation, man. You are because I am. Without you, I don't exist. We are Ubuntu generation. For God's sake, let's wake up from our sleeping and let's do. We don't have time. Like, we need to be like this. Africans are supposed to be working like this. We don't have time. We got no time. We got no time. We got to get things done. All right, we got to provide water for people. That's why, man, we are not waiting for government or whatsoever. I've told you guys our focus right now. We're going to do that. We're going to give you guys as much as information. And if you are interested and you want to be part of it, hit me up, oneafricaofficial@gmail.com. Hit us up. Let us know what is your plan. What do you think? If you want to be a part of this clean water provision to the continent, freeing continent by providing clean water, let me know. Some of you might be engineers about water. Actually, I know someone very close to me is engineer. So it's very easy. Someone who very close to me, and I'm actually part of his NGO. His NGO initiative is actually to provide clean water as well. Very close to me. I'm a member of his NGO that has been doing amazing work in the countryside to provide clean water, and he's professionally engineer by that. So it will be very easy to collaborate with us, SNOA, with that NGO, and that NGO as well is African NGO. That's one of the things, African NGO. That as well. So it will be very easy to collaborate because I'm part of that, to collaborate together as two different organizations to provide clean water to our people. We have professionals like engineers like them, and we have some of you there. You might be professional when it comes to clean water and everything. You guys hit us up at oneafricaofficial@gmail.com. Let us know your plan. Let us know what you think. Let us know anything. We are ready to go. Once I get back home, the first thing first is I've already started to do research of that. Find all these villages that there's no clean water, and find, even in Africa, which country that is extreme. It's in extreme situation right now, and it's in need of clean water. You guys, you can let us know. Let us know at oneafricaofficial@gmail.com, because we'll go to that country, we'll provide this stuff. We'll go to that country, we'll take the data, we'll take everything necessary we want to know, and then we'll provide this clean water to them. What do you say? We can do this together, right? I count on you guys. We're gonna do that in the entire continent. One country for now. We find the country that is in extreme situation right now, no clean water, and the need of that. We'll go there. We'll visit government first of all, and then provide us as an African. You know what they do when they do things like this? They take pictures, they take videos, they put there on the social media, they put their name on it and everything. And when you go, we do this, the name will be there. It's only, One Africa, we're here. Or we'll put there, SNOA, we'll put right there. We gotta leave our mark right there that we're here. Because today, when you go everywhere, you see all these buildings, you see all these schools, and say, by support of this European Union or Americas, or this and this, man, everywhere. As a result, man, we were going this one place, and then we saw this really amazing, good library, in South Africa. And somebody say that, oh, this was donated to them. And I was asking myself, how did you know that? So I found out information, and then I realized that the government built that library there. And I was like, so you see, like, these people, they don't even believe that if they see anything good in your country, they know it was donated. It's a time for us to do our good things. It's the time. And we're going to do it. So unless we're going to do it, man, trust me, man, we're going to do it. I know it. I know it, man. I know it. I did not go to South Africa by coincidence. I went to watch. I went to learn. I went to participate so that I can gain that experience and that knowledge and go back to the countries in Africa and do the same exact thing for my people. If people are coming all the way from Korea, all the way to Africa to do just that, what am I doing and I'm there in Africa? Do they care about Africa more than Africans care about Africa? I don't think so. Oh, the only thing that is lacking is implementation, because we think we have time. I would rather wait for the government's plan 10 years later, African Union plan 2063 years, 40 years later, to do it, while I have ability to do it today and save a lot of people's lives. We're going to do it. Our job is doing it. That's our job. That's our job, helping these politicians to do things and show them how things should be done. That's why we're going to do it. So I need action-oriented people here. I need action-oriented people. Hit us up at oneafricaofficial@gmail.com. Let us know. That's how I'm going to connect this team. Like, I need this team. I need action-oriented people who are interested in this project. I need those people, because you're going to act right away. We're going to connect all of our expertise. For those who will do research, we'll do it. For those who will be on the ground, we'll be on the ground. For those who will provide financial assistance, we'll be there. For those who will be there to do by themselves, we'll be there. We need these people, right? And then we put our mind together, we put our effort together, and then we implement, we do it without anything in return. We're not getting anything in return. We're going to do a good work to our people. You know what I think? I want the time will come that the governments of Africa will be asking loans and aids, not from America, not from European Union, but from SNOA. I'm just getting that right now. Come on, man. The God I save, the God of wealth, is going to direct all the wealth to come to the right hands. As we're dreaming and visioning about this, as we work hard day and night, planning, doing research, and preparing for this, God will allow and open the doors. I'm telling you, governments will be asking for loans and aids from us. Mark my word. Remember this stream today. And one day you will tell me. Because it's a time for money, loans, and aid to come from Black people. It's a time to come from us. It's a time. Let me tell you guys, I don't see you right now. I know you see me, but I don't see you. All of your guys, you look like billionaires. And it's a time. You guys, you will save your countries with your finance. And that money is not going to go in the hands of politicians. No. We will do it. You will do it. So this is what I'm thinking all the time. I think about this. I'm like, man, when I go to countryside and I see all this infrastructure, there's no clean road. You know what it'd be? SNOA, we're going to provide services. Call those guys. Oh, you guys, go come and fix this road. Put nice, beautiful road with our own money. We'll do it. Build roads, build schools, One Africa University, raising leaders of this generation, building all those stuff, having One Africa airline, you know what I'm saying? Africa, all this stuff. One after another one. Just we don't have time. I've said that. We don't have time. Everything will happen in his time. And mark my word. Kudos to President William Ruto for that initiative, and kudos to Kenya as well. This is not one-man effort. Kudos to Kenya for that nice move. I think the entire continent, I'm really proud right now, man. If I were, I mean, I'm Kenyan as well, right? So I'm really proud, man, of Kenya's initiative, and I'm really proud, man. I'm really proud. I think that is it's the only way, man. Imagine, guys, things are not good in South Sudan there, in Sudan. So people are moving, leaving the country. But you know what? They can have a home in Kenya. Free visa. Somebody say, yo, say, don't worry, Mika. Africa is just a bit away from delivering the baby. That is why she's in pain right now. Africa has been pregnant for 60 years. That baby is taking a long time. That's what I'm saying. I believe what you say, but that baby is taking a long time. And it's taking a long time because of our mindset. Because of our mindset, thinking that we have time. We don't have time. We don't have time, guys. One thing that I've learned this year, seeing the war between Ukraine and Russia, Israel and Palestine, what is happening in Burkina Faso, in Mali, Gabon, Sudan, Ethiopia, Congo, one thing that I'm being reminded again and again, that there is no time. All these things happen so quickly, and you realize that there is no time. We don't have time. That baby, I agree with you, but that baby must be delivered today, right now, right here, now or never. And that's the mindset that Africans we need to push to our politicians, to push in our countries, that we want it right now. Yeah. So let me just read a couple comments that I see here. There's a lot of comments, guys. I'm not gonna be able to go through all of them, so I'll just read. Okay, I'll read the comments first from our members, because I want to acknowledge the members that we have in the space. I appreciate people here on TikTok as well for giving the gifts and everything. Thank you so much. And for those members here on TikTok as well, I appreciate you guys. So let me just first of all acknowledge the members in the house and read their comments first, before anything else, if they're there. Not really member here. I don't see it. Where? Oh, I didn't. Okay, I can't go up with these comments. Oh, okay, let me see here. There's a lot of them, and I think they were held. Okay, Sophia, I appreciate always being here. Appreciate. Big E, it's been a while, man. It's been a while. I see Big E right there. It's been forever. Oh man, Big E, long time ago, brother. Okay, Sophia says, what about African descendants in the West? The ones whose ancestors were stolen during slavery. Ghana tried. Oh, I kind of respond that as well. Yeah, I think when it comes to African descendants that are outside right now, especially in the West, I think right now the move that Yoweri Museveni did by apologizing to what was done to our brothers and sisters, that was a perfect move. And a lot of people here who were here, they felt really recognized, and they felt like this healing, like it's the beginning of to heal that wound, right? For instance, Africa, when we went to be up to one colonizers to apologize what they did to Africa, not because apology will change things, no, but it will actually ignite the beginning of change, right? That healing of the wound, right now that wound is not even opened yet because these people are not acknowledging it, right? And they're running away. They say our ancestors did it, but they don't want to take responsibility that it's actually you did it, right? Your ancestors is you, your grandfather, your dad, your mom, it's you. Take responsibility for God's sake and move on, right? So that was a nice move. But the second thing that I believe should be done is for African descendants themselves to be willing to come back to the continent, to be willing to open, to first of all to recognize themselves as an African. Second, to be willing to come back home. The third thing that we said also in our petition, One Africa Right Now, is for African Union to make it easier, because this is the fifth region of the African Union, actually, diaspora. They recognize them as part of the African Union. So if you recognize them, that's not enough. We say that, hey, you should give them African Union passport. You should give them the free access of visa to go to any country in Africa. If you do that, that means you're giving them ability. You give them a home. Not only visa, but giving us a space to say that you can come and settle in the continent if you want. Because visa, it could be like only 3 months, right? But these people, they want to come and to settle back home. This is their land, their central land. So you better give them a space to live and to carry on with their lives. Right? So I believe these are 3 things that should be done. Apologizing. Second, you guys to be willing to come and to settle down. Third, to have that a system that will be conducive for our people to move back to the continent and to adjust in the in this beautiful continent. And again, when you come, there are things that really beautiful things to bring in the continent. For example, this mindset that I'm talking about, right? We don't have time. We need to keep excellence at our best. We need to be on time. We need to make sure that we do everything right now. You don't have to wait for the tomorrow, because you don't know if you're going to be tomorrow. But when you try to bring this Western kind of culture, again, that is not really African, that's where clash come, man. Africa will reject you. Africa will vomit you in a second. We have seen a lot of them that they were not able to survive in the continent just because of that. So when you see people complaining about Africa in the videos, let me tell you this, man. This is what I'm saying. I'm very skeptical with those people who complain a lot about Africa. If you find someone who complaining a lot, you have a problem. You have a problem. Think about the children of Israel. How much God did to them. He did a lot, but they're always complaining. Always, it was not enough. So, man, get your complaining ass out of here, man. If you find people complaining too much, they have a problem. Because the same thing you complain about, some of the people, they have a good time. And you have a bad time. Maybe it's your mindset. Maybe you want everybody to be like you, or everybody to be like the country you came from. You think that Africa will reject you and vomit you in a second. Even me, when I moved back after 9 years, I had that mindset. Oh, man, I just saw like, man, I was born there and I'm coming from there, but I was being rejected. This like I was alone, man, alone, because I feel like, oh yeah. Believe that, and then you find yourself alone every single time. Nobody's there with you. But there are things right now that I'm dealing with, which is so hard to get rid of. It is so hard to get out of our system. But I'm dealing with it because it's the right thing to do. Not only because this is Western, this is no, because this is good for our continent, and we're doing that through organization, and we're doing that all the time. So, yeah, the leaders should make it easier from those of the Western to return with our skills and resources. We should not be classified as foreigners. I agree with you, Sophia, 100%. I shared that. Guys, as you continue to watch, make sure to sign up the petition, One Africa right now, right? In this petition, we have an agenda of removing the visa to Africa, which our William Ruto, president of Kenya, just doing that for the country. All right. So yeah. It is important. It's important not to be classified as foreigners for our brothers and sisters, but also you yourself. It's very important not to see yourself as a foreigner. So, for instance, I mentioned this at the beginning that some of our people, when they move back to the continent, they want to stay in the cities because it's convenient to them. They want to go to Johannesburg, Cape Town, and Pretoria because it's just like USA. It's just like Europe. It's just like there, how it looks like. So honestly, the country will address you as a foreigner. The continent will address you as a foreigner. Because how many of you are actually willing to go in the countryside, to go where the true African culture is, to experience there? I'm not saying to live there, to go there, to experience the life there, to maybe to settle there for some time, to understand the culture. Because if you really want to learn about African culture these days, you cannot really learn at the cities. Cities are very, very westernized, right? Most of the places, restaurants and everything, go to the countryside, settle there. And let me tell you this, it's not scary. It's actually very safe because people in the countryside, they live like family in Africa. That's how they live. And in Africa, they protect guests more than the local people. So what they'll do, the entire village will be there. I'm telling you guys this. Have you seen these videos of people like in Kenya, like those people who are stealing the phones from the cars? Have you seen these videos in Africa? Do you know what happens in Africa when they capture you as a thief? They burn you alive. That was happening in my country. If they catch a thief in Africa, they burn you alive. They beat the heck out of you. Sometimes even the police, they don't come, they delay. They like teach them lessons. What does this tell you? So some people, they think like Africans are thieves, Africans are robbing men. But the same African people, they beat these thieves to death. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. No, it's not. Beating them to death, it's not the right thing to do. Beating them a little bit, oh, it's a nice, just beat the heck out of them so that they may not steal again. You know what I'm saying? Let's do that. Just teach them a lesson, not to death. No. To that extent, no, but just slap them. But you see, the same Africans are running after these people to beat the heck out of them. What does that tell you? That this is how Africa will live. We don't endorse this robbery. We don't endorse people to be thieves. We don't deserve people to just do illegal activities. We don't endorse it. We beat the heck out of them. That's Africans. So if you come, people, they will actually defend you. That's how it is. I think that if I go, I get pissed off a lot, man. When my friends come to Africa, and I understand because of this stereotype. When they come to Africa, even their bags, how they carry it here forward like a little baby. So man, I was really criticizing them, and I was like, man, okay, you. All right. Recently, one of our friends as well. I know that friend might be watching here, but I gotta say this, man. From African country, came to my country, and also was holding the bag here, because I don't want anyone to get my things. I told her straight. I was like, because of how you're carrying that bag, they're going to steal the heck out of you. Because you seem like you're carrying money, you're holding like this. No, man. No, it's very easy to people to. Since I came to Tanzania, to Africa, I went to Ethiopia, South Africa. Nobody stole anything from me. No one. and I'm on the street, I connect with people. No one, not my phone, not anything. Because first of all, I take good care of it. So kudos to me. Second, I don't look like a foreigner. If you don't want to be treated like a foreigner, don't be a foreigner. That's a good one. Oh my God. If you don't want to be treated like a foreigner, don't be a foreigner. It's very simple. You know what? You know why I'm having good time in Korea? Because I'm here, and you know how I'm saying, like, this is my country. I lived here for 9 years. I became a man here. I learned in Korean when I was here. I speak the language. I eat the food. So I address myself as, man, some part of me is actually belong to you. Some part of me, I feel that some part of me, because I grew up in that time. And you know what happened? It's, yeah, they might say, I know, man, come on, you're from Africa, your country's Africa. But the way I associate myself with them, I was like one of them. So I don't feel like foreigner. Even when they treat me like foreigner, I'm like, that's what I tell them. You know, because that's how I see myself. So if you don't want to be treated as a foreigner, just don't be a foreigner when you come to Africa. Don't identify. That's why I hate these little groups that, you know, you see, like you have these you know, African descendants coming back in the continent, but they're forming their own groups. They always just hang out together. They always just have these. It's good to have these associations, but man, if you don't interact with people, I'm telling you, you're gonna be a foreigner. Even if you stay for 50 years, you're gonna still be a foreigner. And I was just addressing this with one of my Korean friends. I was like, man, a lot of these foreigners are doing a lot of good work. You know, some of them are doing good work in the continent, but one thing that changes everything for me, I disregard the good work they're doing, is that they don't trust local people. They don't trust local people, so they only do work with their own people that they're in the land. I've seen that the same thing with African descendants. I see that the same thing. They don't trust local African. So what they do is, whatever that they want to do in the continent, they do with other African descendants that are in the continent. You will never merge these two groups by doing that. Never. If you are scared of being scammed, therefore you work with your own people, well, I have evidence of African descendants who have been scammed by African descendants in the continent. Some of them, they are very close to me. Some of them, we don't have a good relationship right now because my name was in it and people have been scammed. And now I look like a scam as well because I was associating myself with these people. You understand what I'm saying? So that's something that is happening right now. We are dealing with that right now. We're not in a good relationship right now. When I was just South Africa last week, I was talking about that. If you can't trust the local people, if you can't trust the continent will never trust you. This is just a simple advice I'm giving you. You don't trust the continent will never trust you. You think you know it, it's going to reject you. You need to be ignorant when you come to Africa, like you know nothing. Everything you heard, everything you studied. You know, I was having an interview 2 days ago when I came here to Korea, and then they asked me. They said, Mika, if you will go to your younger self, what would you say to the younger self before you came to Korea? I told them that I'll tell this to younger Mika that, hey, forget everything you've seen in the movies, in the dramas, the stories you heard about Korea. Forget everything and just go as ignorant, somebody who don't know anything, learn from the start. Because I remember the first 2 months in Korea, it was a hell for me because everything was new and I was still holding on to the image I think I knew. I was still holding on to whatever that I knew. And it was hell to me. But after 2 years, I let everything go and I started living and I enjoyed life here, even though I experienced racism every single day and my life was not that smooth, but I enjoyed life here. That's a simple. If you don't trust the continent will never trust you. If you see yourself as a foreigner, the continent will see you as a foreigner. If you don't interact with the locals, only you interact when you want to do something good, when you want to provide food, when you want to do some activities. That's how the continent will suck the money out of you. All of it. When they see you, they'll be like, Mzungu, give me money, give me money. They'll treat you that way because that's how you look like, because that's how you act, because that's how you treat them. Everything that is happening in the continent with either white man, with either local, whatever, with either African descendant, everything that happens to you, everything that continent is doing to you because you're doing to it first. I'm telling you, I've seen it, I've heard it, I've been close to some of the people, and I've seen it. If you think you know it all, oh, continent know it all. They know everything about this continent. It rejects you as well. So it requires a lot of humility. It requires a lot of learning process. It requires a lot of open mind. You might think you have open mind, but when you come to the continent, forget everything. Everything. Stories that your friends who are here in the continent told you, forget about it. Come start experience by yourself. The matter of fact, don't even ask them. Don't even ask them, how was the continent? Tell me a little bit, what is the thing? No, don't even ask them. Come without knowing anything, everything to be surprised to you. Prepare your mind, just be open-minded. You don't need to prepare anything else. Just be open-minded that I'm going to learn. I'm going to see how these people live. I'm going to experience. Whatever experience that comes to me, I'm going to learn and find out. Go to countryside, know nothing. Go to the cities, enjoy, interact with the locals. Don't come and form your own groups and just hang out with yourself. I'm telling you, man. Learn the language. You can simply learn that by interacting with the people, learn the culture. Don't try to bring something else. Learn it. And once you do that, I'm telling you, the continent will embrace you and you love this place like never before. That's what happens to me when I go to other countries. I enjoy my time in Ethiopia because that's what I did. I enjoyed my time in South Africa because that's what I did. I enjoyed my time here in South Korea. I enjoyed my time in Eastern Europe. I've been to Eastern Europe because that's what I enjoyed my time in Japan because that's what I did. I can go to any country in this world. I enjoyed my time in Dubai because that's it. Because of that, I can go to any country in this world, whatever the experience, the worst experience there, I don't care, but I can enjoy time anywhere because that's how I approach this thing, right? And that's how we're supposed to approach things, you know. A lot of misunderstanding that most of the time we think that, oh, because I'm black, these people will treat me this way. No, man, you need to change that software. Once you change that, then you will enjoy the time in Africa. You enjoy the time. Africa, it's a loving continent. You don't need to worry about anything, but just your mindset. Your mindset. Yeah, your mindset is very important. I thought Ruto was actually going to help us African descendants of the enslaved in the West. Then he said free visas. I believe one step at a time. One step at a time. Free visa. Uh, uh, free visa. It's a big initiative. I gotta applaud that. It's a big initiative. uh because I understand this. Let me tell this to African descendant. I think it is impossible for you guys to have a good life in Africa if we don't open borders, if we don't release free visa to the continent, if we don't do that. If we as a continent don't come together, most of African descendants, some of them, they don't even know where their roots are. Some of you, you know, that is good. But if the continent don't come together as one, we cannot, it's going to be impossible to embrace someone who is not even in the continent. So it is very important. The success within the continent of Africa is very important for the African descendant outside of the Africa. It's very important. The house to be clean, the house, it's very important for you guys. It's very important. So when the African continent come together, when this free visa within the continent open up the borders, means it's allowing the free movement of Africans across the continent, across our countries, and we no longer care about that you're Kenyan, you don't have this passport, you don't have visa. No, just come there. Yo, it's a free come. That also is very good for African descendants as well, because when you come here, you're not gonna need that eventually. So I believe we are on the right track, and I'm telling you, man, we are on the right track. We've seen what Yoweri Museveni did, said, and we are on the right track. Safia, you're a very interesting person. Am I blocked? Why should we block you, man? Nobody can be blocked here. Anyways, guys, those are I was addressing. I think more than like 20 or 30 minutes I've been addressing just to you. So hope you're still there. Yes. First of all, we need that. All right, guys. Or if there's any question, I'll reply any question that comes right now. But if there's not, I'll be signing up. Oh, let me go to the hi Mika. I am the guy in the airport at Ethiopia. Oh, okay. I believe we met. We met, my brother, right? Appreciate so much. This is amazing, man, when you meet people on the road. And this is UN control emotion. It brings emotion damage. You are not realizing Africa, probably. I don't know what you're talking about. I appreciate so much, Reggie family, for sharing that link. Please sign the petition right now, One Africa right now. Our brother Reggie just share. He's our admin here on YouTube. He just shared in the comment section. Please go ahead and do that. No, I am against that. This is not the time to open Africa free visa. There's so many things to do before that. So when is the time? This is what I'll say, that the biggest issue in Africa that we think we have time. This is not time to open borders in Africa. So when is the time? Tell me, when is the time? 2063? Unless if you're working for African Union, then I'll understand that. When is the time? The time is right now. You got no time to waste. Because wars are still happening in Africa. People are being killed. And you are Ethiopian, I can see. Popo Lala, you are an Ethiopian. You know that a lot of Ethiopians are in prison in Tanzania, and in prison in so many countries, and in South Africa, and in so many countries in Africa. Why? Because they did not have proper document to travel. Do you know that? So if you say now is not the time, that means your people are gonna still be in the prison because they just don't have visa. They came illegally. They're illegal migrants in our countries. This is the time. All these people who are in the prison, do you know what they can do to develop this continent? A lot. So this is the time. This is the time to do everything. There are so many things other to do. Okay, when you say that this is not the time and there's so many other things to do, mention what are those things. Don't just say that there's so many other things. What are those things? Tell us. Because what we are telling you right now, we're sharing with you the important points that we think they are supposed to be done. So if you say that you think that is not the time, there's so many things to do before that, please tell me what are those other things to be done before that. That, I think, is the proper way of communication. Do you know what I'm saying? Proper way of communication is that I agree to be criticized. I'm okay with that, but show me, like, how should I do better? If you think I'm wrong, then tell me why I am wrong and how can I do better. Then you're helping me. You understand? So if we want to help African Union by telling them that, now it's not a time for free visa, opening borders, there's something important. Okay, what are those things? But in African Union perspective, everything is until 2063. So Renee Black says, sign the petition and stop sending negative comments. That's what Africa needs. I appreciate that. Come on. Got family right there. European makes travel easy for themselves, but the Africa now keeps the divide going themselves. Absolutely. The same Europeans who came up with these systems, they took away this system, removed in their countries. We're still using them today. Who to blame? Them or us? Us. Because we can break out of this. If we are not breaking out of this, why? It's so difficult to break out of this system. Think about it. Why? We are colonized still. I think that's why China has unified all of its ethnicities so well. Yes? There you go. Yes, it's time we get on board now or never. Yes? Hey, bro, greeting from Nairobi, Kenya. We want One Africa with free visas. Kenya! I just came to love Kenya so much, man. First of all, you guys are number 2 supporters of Swahili Nation for 3 months in a row, for 3 months straight. Number 1 has been United States, African descendants in the United States. Number 2 has been Kenya. So shout out to Kenya. We love you, Kenya. And you know what? I got a big surprise for you. Not gonna tell you now. You'll know it. As we say, unity in the community makes things easier and better. Absolutely. That's what we need. Appreciate about your positive comments on Ethiopian internal issues. Appreciate, man. Internal issues. Yeah, you know, I appreciate that you appreciate that. Other people, they don't appreciate that, and I'm okay with that. But I have an issue when someone is using internal issues or internal affairs. So if your internal issues affect us as Africans, it's no longer internal issues. That's why I must address it, because I'm an African. And in Ubuntu spirit, whatever that happened in your country affects me as an African, whether you know directly or indirectly. Think about this. What is happening in Ukraine and Russia affects Africa. 2 different continents. What happened in Israel and Palestine right now, it affects Africa somehow, far away from here. How dare you think that what is happening within the continent of Africa, in the neighboring country, is not affecting another neighboring country within the same continent? It affects us. We are connected. We are related. We're one blood. We're one people. We're one Africa. Whatever that happened in your country, it happens in our country. It affects another country. That's why we address. That's why even you can address what is happening in Tanzania, can address it, because it affects you as well. I'm saying this because I get a lot of comments that get your hands off our country. This is none of your business. Focus in your own country. Just go ahead and focus on our mission, man. You'll understand. Our mission is one Africa, so all is connected. Marit said it well. I think we content creators from Africa, we need to promote our content. I was in Turkey. They called African, no matter where you are, from blood united as passport light. So you're a content creator as well. That's amazing. Yeah, you raised really important point right there. The time is now. Richard Kanyamba said the time is now. We've been colonized for far too long. Even mentally, we're still colonized. Until we do away with these borders that never existed before colonialism 2063 is too far. Europe did take this long. Absolutely. I agree with you. 1000%. How is your experience in South Africa? We'll also visit Namibia. All right. Actually, I haven't even done that video yet. I think I'll come with the video there to share about my experience in South Africa, but I'll share with you a little bit right now. So my experience in South Africa, it was very mixed feelings. First time when I landed, I had crazy good time. I was in awe of everything because I went to spend 3 to 4 days at Kruger National Park. It's far away from the city. You actually need to take a plane to this one place called, I think it's, I forgot the name. And then after that, you need to drive a couple hours to Kruger National Park, one of the biggest national park. It goes all the way to Zimbabwe, I believe. Spent a couple days there. It was heaven. It was amazing. In the jungle, living there. And then we came back to the city. And then we started going to Swatidam and Marikana. Places we started to go inside a little bit, and we started to see the difference between in the same country, but you see yeah, it's as if you are, I would just use these words according to, I mean, like I hate using these words. Let me find a better one. No, I can't use this because I'm the one that say there's no first world country, second world country, third world country. We only have one world. There's no developing country. I mean, there's no developing country and developed country. There's only developing country. That's what I say. It's I can't say something against what I say right now, right? Otherwise, I'll be hypocrite. So I don't believe that there's a developed country. I believe all of us are developing country. I don't believe that there's first world country. I believe all of us here one world, right? So in South Africa, you will see really nice neighborhood where people are living luxury life, which in most of parts in Africa you see that, but in Africa it's another level. South Africa, it's another level. I've seen that in Tanzania, but in Africa it's another level. Very well people living and very low people living. And when you go to very well neighborhood, of course you find there's black people living there, but majority are foreigners. Not even white South African, if they are not even white South African, but foreigners. A lot of foreigners. I had this conversation with one of the lady in exactly developing world. I had a conversation with this one of the lady in the countryside, and she was telling me this. She's like, man, like when you go to the cities, all the foreigners are coming and taking over, the city, they're taking over, and we are being pushed away from it. So she was talking about all these like Europeans, talking about all these Americans. She also mentioned something that it touched me, and I felt that from some of them, Africans who are coming. They were experienced with xenophobia in South Africa. So I felt that when I was there, I felt it. How other Africans are being perceived, I felt it. So this one place in Pretoria, in the same view, there's a two different group of people. There's the most expensive place where people are living, a little bit on a hill, and then on the other side, people from Lesotho, they're living within the borders. Like there's literally a wall, and they're living inside there. Very poor life in the same area. I actually took a picture with my, like the same you see here is where the rich people live, and here where people from Lesotho are living. Lesotho used to be part of South Africa, but now it's not. So these as well, they're living inside this little, like it's kind of like a little, a little cage, right? So yeah, it's mixed feelings, to be honest. But I met people, they're amazing. South Africans, man. Even right now, before this, somebody was just talking to me right now from a Kruger National Park. They're amazing. Village people, man. I love village people. Village people, man, they're incredible. Man, kids. We spent time with kids, man. Those kids, they loved me, man. I love them back. Man, I just had like 2 days before I leave. They're like, when are you coming back? Man, these kids, oh, they're angels, man. Carried a lot of kids, man. Spend amazing time. Man, I'm telling you this, man. I know there's a lot of things, politics going on and all this stuff on the media, but people, man, are crazy, amazing. They're amazing, man. My best experience in South Africa was not food, was not traveling, was not nothing, but it was people. When we are walking around, going to these places, you know what they do? These people, they're just outside, they're waving and all this. In Africa, man, when we see like different colors from us, how we give everything that we have. We're just hospitable people, You know what I'm saying? Like people, man. People are everything. South Africans, man, great people, amazing people. These people, they don't even know me. Okay, when I go to Ethiopia, most of them, they know me. But South Africa, most of them, they don't know me. But I'm just, as I told you guys, if you go to a place and you open, I'm telling you, you might be a foreigner, you might be a Nigerian, but you go to South Africa and you'll never be killed because of how you associate yourself with that community, right? But the problem comes when you go there with your own mindset that I am Tanzanian. You guys, you should know that I'm Tanzanian. You guys, you should be Tanzanians. I'm telling you, man, you're not gonna last. Even in Africa, you are an African. I go to Kenya today, and then I just bash about Kenyan culture, I bash about everything, and I'm Tanzania, guys should be like us. Even I'm telling you, my goodness, those guys, they'll beat the heck out of me, man, and I'm gonna be thrown to somewhere in the water, whatever. right? So people there, man, you know, where when I was meeting these guys working, I always go, you see the vlogs I shared, and I have more coming. I just don't have time to edit them. But you know, when I go there, I ask them, hey man, where are you from? You know, I met Namibians, I met Zimbabwean, I met these Malawians, I met this, and some of them came to, they're like, hey, I'm from Malawi, I'm thinking about coming to Tanzania very soon. I'm South African. I'm like, yes, come on, you find me there. You see how good is it? Man, I'm going there, I'm meeting with these people in the village. This woman, she's complaining that, oh, these foreigners are coming, taking our job, but I am foreign as well, but we're just connecting there. I'm like, man, because this woman, she's looking at me, and first of all, they're speaking to me in Zulu language, Swati language. They're speaking to me like that. Everywhere I go out, we go to supermarkets, they're speaking to me. They thought I was South African. You see how good is that? Even when I went to Ethiopia, some of them thought I was Ethiopian, but when I opened my mouth, they're like, oh, he's not one of us. I was like, I am one of you. I'm an African. Everywhere I go in Africa, they think I'm from that place. That's how they should think about you when you come to Africa. You might not be looking like me, but when you come, be African. Don't come and act like a savior. Like Jesus Christ, he came for the second time. I'm telling you, man. You come and then you start asking, do you guys have sandwiches here in Africa? Do you guys have a Burger King? Get your Burger King ass out of here, man. Come and oh my god, I'm having fun, man, with this. I miss doing this. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I say that, but oh my god, yeah. Somebody asked me yesterday. Who? I want to remember who asked me. Somebody asked me yesterday a very strange question. I was surprised. I was like, what? Who asked? Oh yeah. So when I was talking to someone yesterday, it's African, living somewhere. African, man. This person is African, and then asked me, she said, in your country, do you have something? One question. Okay. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I kind of feel like this is watching this. You hate this so much, but I gotta say this. So, I'm sorry. I'm using this right now, and if you're not watching, I'll tell you. All right, I'll tell you after this that I'm using this. So so this person, you know, she's an African, and she's in certain country right now. I'm sorry, man. You guys don't tell me your stories because I'll tell them. I'm that honest. So this person, she's an African. She's in a certain country right now in Africa. It's not something to love, but it's kind of funny. So she went to one restaurant to eat, and then she was completely sick the next day. She thought she was gonna die. They brought her to hospital, and I'm sorry, man. They brought her to hospital, and doctor said, "I think you were poisoned. I think you were poisoned." So what did she ask me? She asked me this. She said, "Hey, is it normal here in Africa that people can just poison? Is it common in your country too?" Oh my god, this is African. Man, I was actually a little bit shocked. I was like, hey, if it is common, I wouldn't be alive right now. I've been in Africa for 2 years. It's not like people in Africa they just go around and poison people. No, man. I'm like, she's an African. Imagine. She lived outside for a long time, Western countries, right? So there's so many questions that you guys might ask sometimes out of curiosity, but it could be very offensive to Africans. Very offensive. Very offensive. That's why I'm saying you really need to come like empty and really understand culture. Because that question, you know, this is how I could define that. So you think like we just so I asked, I was like, so like are you in trouble with anyone? Like did you fight with someone or did you say anything bad? Did you do anything bad and everything? She said, no, nothing. And I was like, man, it's possible you just had food poison. Maybe you ate something that, you know, you're not supposed to eat or something like that. Yeah, the saying that so is it so I'm glad that she asked me that question, because she asked out of curiosity that is this normal, because she almost lost her life, you know what I'm saying? So we gotta put that in consideration. But Africa, we don't just go around and poison people. I would have been dead a long time ago, because a lot of Africans don't like me, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but I'm still alive, so we don't do that, you know what I'm saying? So some other questions like that. That's do you guys have a cheeseburger there? Somebody, one of my friends, I said, do you guys have rice in Tanzania? And I was like, no, no, we don't have rice. We eat bricks every single day. That's what we have. So do you guys have good roads in Tanzania? I'm like, oh yeah. We actually don't have roads. We live in the jungle with lions all the time. When you go around the street, you find lion around the street. So you better be careful when you come to Africa. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, that's Africa, man. I'm telling you, man. Africa, it's there's something Africa did to me that I love Africa so much that I just cannot wait to go back. Cannot wait. Cannot wait. I lived away from Africa for 9 years, and I gotta admit there was a time I never wanted to go back home because I had another life. And even when I was going, I was just going to go to another country. But when I landed there, I realized that I was running away. I was going not to study masters, but I was running away from Africa. So I canceled my scholarship and I was like, I'm gonna stay back home. So I stay at home, which is the right thing to do. I said is that don't just focus on doing the good thing. Good is not enough. Do the right thing. The scripture says doing what is right and just is more acceptable to God than sacrifice in Proverbs 21. All right. So doing what just and right. So not every good thing is right thing, right? So we gotta focus on doing what is right, right? Um, so I stayed behind, and within 2 years, this is the second year, right? Since I moved to Africa, it has been incredible. And when I say incredible, I don't mean that there's no challenge. Challenges are there, but it has been heaven on earth. That every time that I get out of my country or I get out of Africa, I have homesick. The longest I can stay, after just 1 week, I miss home. I miss Africa. After just 1 week. So 2 weeks is like torturing myself. 1 month, oh my God. The only thing that will calm me down if I stay for a long time outside of Africa is if I meet or have activities with African every single day. Then I'll feel like I'm in Africa. I was born in Africa, and that's how I feel about Africa right now. Sometimes because of the work and all this stuff, we have to stay away like this for a while. But oh come on, look at that! I love what Renee said. They say Africa is like the most beautiful woman ever to be hold. I agree with you, man. And you know African women, how beautiful they are. I understand, man. Maybe that's why I'm having hard time to let go of Africa. That's why I miss Africa, because man, so many flowers in Africa. You know, like so many flowers. Africa is like that. It's that. I'm glad you say that, because if I said it, if I start to say that, there's a lot of opinions of people start calling you womanizer and all this stuff. But what I'm trying to say is like it's like that. You had that experience, and you're like, oh my God. No matter how many years passed, no matter how many people I meet, I will never forget that experience I had with the mother continent. That my first love. That's what is Africa to Africans, even African descendants. Africa is our first love. You never forget that. You never forget your first kiss. You never forget that first you hold hand with a girl. You never forget that. You never forget the first hug. You never forget the first date, sitting down and just have this conversation, and even the time, you don't even realize the time. 24 hours. Oh my God, it's 24 hours. Man, I have energy as if you've been drinking like espresso, like 5 espresso in a minute. You still have energy. We never forget those experiences, right? That is Africa. Africa is my first love. Thank you, God, for Africa. And by the way, in the scriptures, there's a video I'm coming to release, man. The video of this one pastor that I met in South Africa is actually here already. I think I'll release, I don't know, today. I don't know if tomorrow. Right now it's in Africa. Oh, 2:40. Actually, I can release after this, I guess. Yeah, I'll release after this. This pastor, he's really good about historical. He's talking about the biblical historical context of biblical of Biblia and Africans. So I want you guys to watch this video. I'm going to release very soon. After this live stream, I'll release it. This guy, man, he's saying this, that the most people that were blessed in the Bible, there are people from Cush. Because you can talk about Egypt, but also Cush, because the Bible is addressing Africa in the Bible as a Cush and Cushite people, and also Egyptian. Because the first discovery of this continent, it was that part. So that's how it was, it was discovered. And these were people that were really blessed, really blessed, really blessed. And you can go and even see the Queen of Sheba, the wife of King Solomon. She was a Cushite. And we are descendants. We are descendants of Cush. We're here. So it was talking about all this stuff and giving all this historical context. Man, you need to watch it, because I learned a lot, and my plan is to bring him here one day to have conversation with him. I love this guy. I shared his picture with me on Instagram. I'll share with you guys here. It's one of the very men. I went to the countryside. I met this guy, this pastor. He's just an amazing guy, man. Again, Africans, man. This guy, I just fell in love with this pastor. And him and his wife, and he has kids, man. This guy is just, man, like, I don't know, man. I don't know my heart how God gave me this, man. I just love this guy. This guy he has a knowledge about Africa, man, and he's about to write his own book. And he said it was sent to me to see the first script that he's gonna write, which will be incredible. I'm gonna connect this guy right here. I share this on my Instagram, man. This guy right here, man. Oh my God. I'm going to release the video probably after this. I'll release a video after this live stream for you guys to see. So it'll be premiere here. It's just 16 minutes. I want you guys to see this, to hear him out. And I know you might have your own opinion. You can comment in the comment section, because but he was giving the historical context, the way that he's talking about. This guy, this pastor, is in the countryside, but the knowledge he has about Africa in biblical context. And I wanted to just say this, that guys, please, whether you are Christian, whether you are not, please read the Bible, because I'm telling you, the history and the story about Africans are in the Bible. Just go and read the scriptures and you'll see it. Go read it. Read the Old Testament. Read the story of Africans is there. And you know what they did so that we may do? We may not read the Bible. We may hate it. You know what they did, colonizers? They came and they changed it. A lot of people, they believe Christianity was brought by colonizers, but it's not true. Do you know how? So this is what he's saying in this video. He says, do you know how Christianity came to Africa? If you read the book of Acts, again, go read. When the Holy Spirit came for the first time in the world, after Jesus ascending to heaven, the Bible is saying people that were there were people of Syria. There were people from Cush. They were there gathering together from all over the world. That's why even the tongue that they started to speak, started to speak tongue of different places. So back then, even Syria was part of Africa. This Middle East that you see, it was part of Africa. So those people, after being filled by the Holy Spirit there, they went back to where they come from. They went back to Africa, and that's how gospel came back. But you know how colonizers tell you how the gospel came, that they brought it. These colonizers came to discover, and then they brought these mission trips and everything. No, Christianity was already here in the continent even before they came. Ethiopians will tell you another story, that it was there already even before colonialism began. It was there. So it was already here. But what they do is they took that history away for themselves. Why? So that we may have Africans who will hate this Christianity and will not even want to do anything with the Bible. And when you don't read the book, you don't get the knowledge. When you don't open your Bible and read it, you don't get to know your story. I'm telling you, you can read Bible as just a normal book and you'll see yourself in there. You don't even need to read spiritual. Just read it as a book. Start reading as a book from Genesis. Just start reading it. You'll be amazed. You will be amazed. Man, I'm reading Proverbs and I'm amazed. I'm like, man, this is me. I'm reading a children of Israelite. Man, their behaviors. I'm like, these are Africans. This is African behavior. Complaining, well, but this is Africans. I'm like, oh my God. So yeah. So I'll share this video very soon. Let me just end this session and share this video with you guys. All right. Yeah, Middle East, and let me tell you this: Middle East and Africa, Africans and people in the Middle East are descendant of the same father. Descendant of the same father. All of us, we came through Abraham, and Abraham, he had 2 sons. And then when you go ahead, this guy is talking about it. I want you guys to read this. I don't want to spoil. You guys watch this video. This guy is explaining. It's explaining amazing. So we had back and forth, the things that we agree on, the things that we did not agree on, but we are all the same descendants. Same descendants. And people believe that Africa, they come from that son that was cast. No, Africans were not cast, because us, we are descendants of the son of the dad that was cast. We were not cast. Dad, he had sons, and we come from that lineage. And okay, he was talking even about the genealogy of Jesus Christ. So you have Japheth, you have Ham, you have Japheth. So all these 3 kids, Japheth is believed to be the white man, and then Ham, I think one is Asia, another one is Africa. Between those 2 sons, I forget sometimes. You will see this video. And so when you look at the genealogy of Jesus Christ in the Matthew chapter 1, you'll not see Japheth there. So in all this genealogy, you will see only descendants of Ham and Japheth. You see them where Jesus came from, his genealogy. So it's believed that he was actually mixed between black and Asia. He looked brown. Anyways, I don't want to go there, guys. But let me stop there, because we might believe in different things. So let me just stop right there. But I want you guys to watch this video, and then the rest you can agree on. I mean, you can comment and give your opinion in that video that I'll be sharing. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm going to share this video. Let me show you. First of all, I'll show you here how it looks like, because I'm going to share this right away. This is what I will do for those who are watching here. I'm going to go to YouTube Studio right now here, and I'm going to find that video. That video is right here. Okay, it is right here. I wrote the title as a biblical context of Africa's history. Okay, biblical context of Africa's history. And then I love this guy, man. And I gotta let me try to call him after this, because I'm releasing this. And then okay, I'm going to release it right now. So right now, as soon as I pray and close this, don't leave. You'll just see another video is being premiered. Just go and watch that, and then you guys, we can chat in the comment section there. All right, for those people on TikTok, you can go on Swahili Nation YouTube channel. I'm releasing a video after this prayer. God, thank you for today. Appreciate for the time that I got to reconnect again with my family. Thank you for the moment we have. Thank you for the knowledge we had. And thank you for everything that we're planning, everything that we're thinking, everything that we are doing. Most importantly, we want your name to be glorified, your name to be magnified, your name to be worshipped, and all the glory will turn back to you. Thank you, God, because you're going to give us resources, you're going to give us energy, you're going to give us everything that we need to accomplish the work that you have entrusted us with. I give you praise, and I thank for everybody who has been watching, everybody who is listening. God, I know that you're doing something amazing for this continent. And as we push towards one Africa right now, thank you, because we see the change. We see the light coming up. We see, God, what is happening in Kenya right now. And we believe that this fire will go all over through the continent of Africa, because we need to bring our people together. And working together right now is no longer an option, but it is must and is necessary for the prosperity of our continent and our next generations. We give you praise and honor. In Christ's name I pray. Amen. Amen. So guys, thank you so much. I'm going to start this video right now. 1, 2, 3. I started it and I'm going to close here. Thank you so much for everybody who came. Patreon members, everybody who came here, thank you. I love you guys. Thank you so much for members. I'm not going to mention your names today, but I appreciate the team. Thank you so much, Reggie, for sharing the link and everything. I'll see you guys in no time, anytime. All right. I have very exciting things coming up. Please check them out, the videos and everything. It's coming. Stay right there. Don't go nowhere, man. We're right here. Keep supporting us. Keep sharing our video. Sign the Petition One Africa right now. It's very important for the prosperity of our continent. Everything we do is for the motherland continent, for God and for our people. Oh yeah, guys, go and watch that video.